Good evening, welcome to the 7 o'clock English news from the Sultanate Oman Television. First, the headlines. His Majesty Sultan Haitham bin Tariq sends cable greetings to the custodian of the two holy mosques on the National Day of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. The Palestinian president affirms in a speech before the United Nations General Assembly that the peace process in the Middle East cannot be achieved without the Palestinian people obtaining their full rights. And the UN Security Council calls for the de-escalation between Azerbaijan and Armenia as the two countries exchange accusations of the worsened situation in the disputed areas. Those are the headlines, and now the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Haitham bin Tariq has sent cable greetings to the custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud of Saudi Arabia, on his country's National Day. The Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas said that the peace process cannot be achieved in the Middle East without the Palestinian people obtaining their full rights. He added that the current peace process for the two-state solution has become infractable due to the Israeli policies. This came during his speech before the 78th session of the United Nations General Assembly in New York, in which the Palestinian president called for holding an international peace conference to salvage the peace process. The Palestinian president Mahmoud Abbas described the peace conference as a last opportunity to sustain the two-state solution and prevent further deterioration of the situation, which will threaten to destabilize the region and the whole world. A young Palestinian was killed by Israeli forces in the city of Jenin in the northern occupied West Bank. The Palestinian Ministry of Health stated that the young man was killed during the occupation's storming of the town of Kafardan, west of Jenin, at dawn today. The occupation forces also arrested a group of Palestinians, including leaders, after besieging their homes in Rafidiyah, a neighborhood in the city of Nablus in the West Bank. Italy has called EU rules on the distribution of migrants prehistoric as debate raged today on how to manage a surge in boat arrivals from North Africa. The Italian president called for new courageous solutions to dealing with migration into Europe. The president said it was necessary to think how to use the rudimentary and outdated tools differently in the face of totally new phenomenon. In response, Germany revealed last week it has stopped taking in migrants from Italy under a voluntary scheme intended to ease pressure on EU borders nations. The Italian president said no country could handle the issue alone and called for new solutions. Mediterranean countries like Italy have argued that the rules plans an excessive burden on border nations, particularly since new arrivals often want to move on and to live in other EU countries. The US government announced a new package of military aid worth $325 million to Ukraine, including air defense system. During a visit by Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky to the U.S. capital, Washington, said that the package includes missiles and artillery system to repel airstrikes, and the first Abrams tanks pledged by the United States will be delivered next week. For his part, Zelensky stressed that the Ukrainian forces will continue to put pressure on the Russian forces in various axes despite the slow progress they have achieved recently, indicating that his country is continuing its counterattack against Moscow during the fall and winter seasons. The United Nations called for an end to hostilities between Armenia and Azerbaijan. Addressing an emergency meeting of the UN Security Council in New York, Miroslav Yanka, the United Nations envoy to the region, said a real dialogue between the government of Azerbaijan and representatives of the region and full participation of the normalization process by Armenia and Azerbaijan are the only sustainable way forward. The UN envoy explained that any renewed escalation in the Nagorno-Karabakh region would lead to more loss of life and human suffering and exacerbate the setback to internationally supported peace efforts, stressing the need for protection and basic needs of the civilian population. Still to come in News Bulletin. An awarding ceremony for the winners of the first Al Lahira Literary Creativity Award is held in Governorate of Al Lahira. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman Television. International Health Exhibition and Conference concluded its sessions where technology innovation and medical tourism has been highlighted. More details in the following report.
Oman Health Exhibition and Conference concluded its sessions where medical products, services and equipment and medical tourism were presented. Technology, innovation, medical tourism has been highlighted during the three-day International Health Annual Event. The development of the health and medical sectors in Oman and the region was the focus. These included potential industries market and emerging opportunities. The event facilitates a platform for medical professionals, traders, manufacturers, suppliers, services providers, and stakeholders of the healthcare and medical industry to explore new opportunities, showcase the latest technologies, services, and facilities, and leverage potential for trade and investments, including medical tourism.
I have the great opportunity to attend this exhibition, and it is my second visit to Oman. I have the opportunity to meet a lot of customer, patient, hospitals, clinic, and medicine doctor, and to see what the demands or needs of the Omani markets in order to send their patient to Jordan to have their medical treatment in the Jordanian hospitals and clinics, as well as medicine doctors. And I hope for the new year, next year, we will have the opportunity to participate in this exhibition.
I'm so grateful to be attending in this conference. It's well organized. I'm thankful for the ministry for this organization. As Shadow Medical Tourism, we have made a lot of connections, and we made a very good network. Thank for Oman and the government of Oman.
The conference, which is aligned with the government's Health Vision 2050, addressed the challenges as well as discussed initiatives to improve the sector. Abdullah bin Ahmed Al-Rubi'i, Sultanate of Oman Television, Muscat.
Oman oil price November 2023 delivery reached $94 and 28 cents per barrel. Oman oil price rose by $1 and 17 cents. Meanwhile, Oman oil price September 2023 delivery reached $80 and 54 cents per barrel. A number of specialized workshops were conducted in South Al-Sharqiya Governorate as part of the National Youth Strategy program. The workshops aim to develop Oman youth skills in various fields. More details in the following report.
90 young people from all over South Al-Sharqiya Governorate attended the specialized workshop on the National Youth Strategy, aiming to leave a remarkable effect on preparing the strategy's content and fields. The National Youth Strategy is a national project that depends on cooperation with various governmental organizations in various fields such as education, future skills, community engagement, economic empowerment, health, physical activity, and environment. Moreover, the strategy is keeping up with the digital revolution and the technological development. With the Sultanate of Oman's 2040 vision, 7 strategic goals have been identified, with the priority being the country's youth. The focus is on developing their skills and talents, building and empowering young leaders and specialized cadre who contribute to development, compete locally and internationally, create an environment conducive to innovation and entrepreneurship, and establish emerging projects that contribute to the national economy. Sultan bin Saif Sarai from South Al-Sharqiyya Governorate.
A workshop was organized in the Governorate of Musandam on Oman National System for Emergency, Triage, and the Emergency Severity Index in coordination between Musandam and South Al-Batna Health Directorate Generals. The workshop seeks to help medical staff diagnose medical emergency cases to respond efficiently to each case. The three-day workshop covered the medical emergency protocol and the patient referral mechanism to determine whether treatment can be carried out in the medical facility or the patient is required to be transferred to another facility to get proper treatment. The Omani Society for Writers and Literati, in cooperation with Ministry of Education, held an awarding ceremony for the winners of the first Al-Lahira Student Literary Creativity Award. School students from the Governorate of Al-Lahira took part in this event to show their literary creativity. The ceremony was held under the auspices of His Excellency Najib bin Ali Rawas, Governor of Al-Lahira. And Duqm Refinery succeeded in exporting the first shipment of high-quality diesel in accordance with international specifications. More details in the following report.
In an important step in the project's progress, the Duqm Refinery succeeded in exporting the first shipment of high-quality diesel in accordance with the international specifications. This coincides with the company's getting close to achieving commercial operation as trial operations continue to exceed 81%, while the percentage of construction work exceeds more than 99%. The experimental operations included testing all supply chains at Duqm Refinery, including crude oil storage facilities at the center head and an 80-kilometer-long crude oil transport pipeline, in addition to testing the readiness of the facilities for storing and exporting products at the port of Duqm, all of which were successfully tested. During the past months, the crude oil tanks at Ras Al Markaz received more than 3 million barrels of Omani and Kuwaiti crude oil, and the trial operations also included the exports of the first shipments of naphtha and fuel oil through the product storage and export dock at the port of Duqm, which is distinguished by its strategic location and is a competitive advantage due to its location on the path of international shipping lines on the Indian Ocean and the Arabian Sea, and this would facilitate maritime transportation activities from and to the region, which serves as the starting line for the plan to transform Duqm into one of the largest industrial and economic centers in the region.
You're watching this on Oman television. Before tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. His Majesty Sultan Haitham bin Tariq sends cable of greetings to the custodian of the two holy mosques on the National Day of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. The Palestinian President affirms in a speech before the United Nations General Assembly that the peace process in the Middle East cannot be achieved without the Palestinian people obtaining their full rights. And the UN Security Council calls for de-escalation between Azerbaijan and Armenia as the two countries exchange accusations of the worsening situation in the disputed area. And with that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From Olsen Newsroom and the studios, enjoy your weekend. Good night.